A little girl from a broken family reluctantly packs her bags.
She started getting real nervous.
Her mom claims she's nervous because her dad has custody for the weekend.
What are you going to do if Daddy doesn't bring me home?
But she never came home.
And she said, I'll see you at 5 o'clock, right, Mama?
You never saw her?
Mm-mm. Nope.
It's a mystery that haunts this distraught mother in Tennessee. What happened to Bethany Markowski? You'll probably never meet anyone more adorable than Bethany, and no one who loves her more than her mom, Jonnie.
Jonnie, tell me about Bethany. What kind of girl is she?
She's sweet and funny and has an attitude, for sure. She can pop off at the mouth when she needs to. She has a very good heart.
Now, in this Crime Watch Daily exclusive, Jonnie is speaking in her first national TV interview in nearly 2 decades about the 11-year-old girl who just vanished without a trace.
After a while, you don't remember what their laugh is like or what they smell like or what their toes look like. You just start losing all of that. I guess I miss her smile the most. She always had a big smile on her face.
But the memories that Jonnie says aren't so wonderful. Life with her ex-husband, Larry Markowski, Bethany's father.
When'd you get married?
In 1990, when Bethany was born.
What attracted you to Larry at the time?
At the time, he was funny, and he was just a really nice guy. Very deceptive.
Jonnie says the deception began when Larry got her pregnant while they were dating. She claims he was already married with children.
Did you know he was married?
No, well, he told me he was married, but he was separated. His wife took the kids and ran to move to Alabama, and he didn't know where they were. And the truth was, he was still living with her. And on the weekends that I came to spend the weekend with him, he was making her 2 kids walk down the street and spend the weekend with her sister. We even drove past this little boy and girl one time, and they were waving, and I waved at them, and I said, oh, those kids are so cute. They were his kids. He never said a word.
Despite that rocky start, they eventually married, and when Bethany was born, they had an instant family.
How was Larry as a dad?
Most of the time good, when she was small. I mean, there were times that he would get mad at me for not doing what he told me to do or minding him, and he would take Bethany away from me until I learned my lesson.
But Jonnie claims as Bethany added more candles to her birthday cake, he wasn't always a doting father.
Was he, controlling?
Very controlling, and very abusive.
What about to you? Was he abusive?
Yes, it was.
How so?
It started off as just kind of shoving and choking and slapping. He was very violent, physical.
Crime Watch Daily cannot find any court documents to back up Jonnie's allegations of abuse, but she sticks to her story and says she started to feel unsafe for both she and Bethany.
It was hard to leave, and not because I loved him. It was hard to leave because I was scared. I just couldn't let Bethany go through that, so I had to figure out a way to get out.
So, one morning when Larry went to work, Jonnie saw her big break. She escaped from what she calls a horribly abusive situation.
Walking out that door for the last time was probably the scariest thing I ever did. I ran and got in the car and went to Bethany's school. As soon as she saw me, she yelled across the parking lot, "Are we leaving, Daddy?" She had a big smile on her face, and
She was happy about it?
oh yeah, she was so happy. One of the things she said is, "Mama, do you think now that my fingernails will grow and I won't bite my fingernails now that we're not going to be with Daddy anymore?"
Well, she was biting her nails because she was scared?
Nervous, scared, yeah.
Jonnie and Bethany were now homeless, so they moved in with Jonnie's sister Lori in Nashville.
She seemed to be distracted, except on the days when she had to talk to her dad.
How so?
We'd kind of warn her, in about 10 minutes your dad should be calling, so stay around, and she would be hard to find, So I would get on the other line. Things that he was saying, 11-year-olds should have been having to hear or deal with.
What would he say to her?
He'd say, "I can't believe you're doing this to me, Bethany. Do you want to, you want to kill me?"
Jonnie enrolled Bethany in a new school and kept the location secret from Larry, but she claims he found out.
Larry went into the back of the school, went into the room, grabbed Bethany and started dragging her out. He shoved the teacher out of the way. He was dragging Bethany down the hallway when some other teachers heard the screaming and hollering and jumped out and got Bethany away from him.
Jonnie's claim is backed up by showing us a letter she says was written by Bethany's homeroom teacher. It states in part, "He then took her by the arm and started quickly taking her from the room, pushing me aside."
What was your relationship like with Larry during this time period?
Not good. Not good. We were hiding from him, basically.
Jonnie immediately requested a temporary restraining order against Larry.
Okay, so no contact
Nope.
between you two.
No contact means just that. So when Larry was awarded unsupervised visitation, Aunt Lori dropped off Bethany in Waverly, the halfway point between Nashville and Gleason, where Larry lived at the time.
Bethany told me that according to Larry, when he picked her up Friday, he was going to take her to Gleason, to where our house was, and pick up a friend of hers, and he was going to take them skating in Jackson.
Jonnie says they were going to the mall in Jackson, where there was a skating rink.
I talked to Bethany at 9:38 Sunday morning.
Was there anything unusual about that phone call?
Yeah. It sounded like it was on speakerphone. Bethany's voice was shaking, and she was like, "Mama, Daddy knows you have a boyfriend." And I was like, "I don't know what you're talking about." And I could hear Larry in the background. "Tell her," and he's hollering and stuff. And she said, "I will see you at 5 o'clock. Not an easy last conversation.
Jonnie remembers every horrifying detail, because 5 o'clock would come and go forever. Next,
Something squirrely was going to happen.
the bizarre explanation from the dad to the disappearance of his daughter, the secret trip to Arkansas, and the mysterious woman.
A 40-something-year-old woman tried to enroll her in a school.
Did a stranger kidnap Bethany Markowski, or was it someone closer to home?
Do you think Bethany is still alive?
Most days, I do. I have to, until I'm proved that she's not alive.